Here's Brody Brazil.
So I saw this feature on Front Office Sports. I wanted to share it. By the way, I think they do a tremendous job highlighting very interesting sports stories. But it was this. Apparently, sports officials across all the major leagues, referees, umpires, linesmen, you name it, they can all get free LASIK as part of a promotion by LASIK.com. You know, LASIK, like you fix your eyes, you correct your vision. Because apparently officials can't all see well. At least that's the criticism from fans. Hey, ref, how'd you miss that? Why couldn't you see that? What's your vision problem? You know, all the stuff that fans yell at umpires and referees and officials. And by the way, those fans who just always blame the umpires for everything, always gives me a headache. Look, sometimes they're human. Yes, sometimes they did miss a call. But sometimes they absolutely got it right, and you're the one who got it wrong, or your team made a mistake, or the other team was just better than your team. But anyway, I go back to LASIK.com. They're very active on social media. Now, LASIK.com is a company. LASIK is the actual procedure to correct vision. But how about this tweet from, I guess, a couple weeks ago? It was when the Giants were playing the Phillies, and Miller struck out JT Realmuto here on a pitch that was clearly, 86 outside the zone, but look at the way it was framed up there. That is the art of framing a pitch if I've ever seen it. And this was a strikeout on obviously a full count, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Phillies down by 4 in this game, but they had two runners on. I mean, 3-run homer would have changed the game. Instead, it's a strikeout when that pitch was way off the plate. Better vision, better calls, LASIK.com says. Still offering all MLB umps free LASIK. Our Philly locations will be ready after the game. I just took the screenshot here so you could see it. They actually used the video as part of this. LASIK.com has been all over umpires in baseball and other sports for a while now. When Ángel Hernández retired, look what they tweeted out about his story. We tried to give Angel free LASIK, but he missed the call. Now, Ángel Hernández has a certain track record in history, an unfortunate reputation of getting a lot of calls wrong. But that's the human element of sports. Until AI is doing everything, until, I almost said PitchCom, but Hawkeye, there's so many technologies now. Until Hawkeye is doing everything and calling balls and strikes and letting you know what was inbounds and out of bounds, then this is the beauty of sports, is that sometimes some people are going to get it wrong. I realize you don't want it happening to a tremendous clip. Margaret Fleming is the author of this piece in Front Office Sports, which just came out a couple days ago. There's a point to the snark, Margaret says. The company, LASIK.com, has run a social media marketing campaign touting free surgery to all officials in the NFL, NBA, WNBA, MLB, NHL, MLS, and NWSL. They are trying to get their name and image and brand and what they do out there by kind of trolling umpires and referees and officials on social media. That's why they're being so snarky. I get it, but it's like low-hanging fruit. Again, in my opinion, we'll get to my takeaways in just a second. The team behind the posts at LASIK.com tells Front Office Sports more than 10 refs have actually taken them up on free LASIK, or a similar surgery called PRK, which can often cost around $5,000 for both eyes. LASIK.com declined to say which leagues the officials work in or whether they were specifically called out on social media. They've got to keep that anonymous. The fact that they did actually give, what they're saying is 10 officials, 10 professional referees across sports, they gave them corrective eye surgery. That's interesting, right? That they took them up on it. The LASIK.com team says they get tagged about 5 to 10 times per day on social media by individuals pointing out bad calls, a figure that has steadily grown over the past year. That's despite relatively small followings on each of their accounts. X, Twitter, is their largest account with about 9,000 followers. So they're getting a lot of interaction, a lot of engagement. They're gaining a lot of notoriety because they're calling out officials for making bad calls and then blaming their vision on it. The officials, Margaret says here, haven't taken offense to the campaign, says Shay O'Brien. LASIK marketing director Eddie Gilfillan's, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right, Gilfillan's colleague. So this is somebody else. Shay O'Brien also works for LASIK.com. FOS reached out to several referees' unions, but they did not respond. Right? So LASIK.com says they haven't heard any kickback from this. They're not getting any angry officials, referees, or umpires. But when Front Office Sports tried to get a comment from any of those respective unions, no response. Here are my takeaways. There is no way that professional referees, umpires, and officials, that they enjoy being trolled by a brand. It's bad enough that fans are going to come there, have a few extra beers, start, sitting behind home plate, getting on their case, sideline seats in the NBA, you name it. That's already part of the job, and I get it. Referees know that. They're professionals. This comes with the territory. They've accepted this coming in. But there's no way they're thrilled with a brand using this as a marketing tool. Being an official in 2025 is very difficult. Slow motion replays, super slow motion replays from 20 different angles, from perspectives that we've never had before. A camera, like 3 cameras inside a hockey net, one on top of the basketball hoop looking down. The sky cam in baseball, you name it, every single angle almost feels like it's covered in professional sports. And umpires get that one split second, safe or out, ball or strike. Was that a 3-pointer or not? Was his foot on the line? Got to go back and look at it. They have to make such quick, coherent observations, and then they get backed up by technology, which is never going to get it wrong, which is usually going to show us the answer, but they have to do it in nanoseconds and get it right to a very high clip. Do we really think that getting their eyes fixed is going to solve this problem? Now, granted, some people as they get older, they can't see as well. That's human nature. You would have to think, and you would hope that just like any player who is suffering from lesser vision as they got older, they'd want to get it fixed. That like their aim, their accuracy is based on vision. Almost everything in sports, beyond the physical functions of doing, the sport and playing the sport, but your vision is where your brain controls your body to do everything. Of course, it's super valuable for athletes. It definitely is for umpires and officials too, and referees. But do we really think that bad calls are happening a majority of the time because of bad vision? No! It's human nature. It's human error. But all of this is free advertising for LASIK.com. So they're going to keep doing it. Again, I'll say how I feel about it in no uncertain terms. It's fine, I guess, for me. I understand if umpires and referees and officials absolutely hate it. I'm surprised that some of them would take up the company on it. Maybe they just want to get what they deserve out of it. I just think it's very low-hanging fruit. It encourages fans, casual fans a lot of the time, who are just upset at the game and the way things are going, to get mad at the ref. Hey, you didn't call this, but you did call that. You must have a vision problem. It's like none of us are perfect at the office every single day. Referees and umpires and officials, they try to be, but you're never going to be perfect. It's free advertising is what this is. And I guess by me covering this, I guess I also just gave LASIK.com some free advertising. But I wanted to tell you about this. And again, I saw this in Front Office Sports. I'll link to that article down below. You made it here to the end of this video. Thumbs up. I really appreciate that. If you would down there, helps me, this video, and this channel. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That way I can definitely see you back here next time.